Alright, Return of the Dogs. You return to the Docks to meet Shannon Halfsky, although the Ripper's latest victim was her brother. But Shannon appears cool and professional, a consummate runner by birth, not by trade. Alright, well, right here. We'll skip it. We're cool. Sure, I read that yesterday anyway. Alright. Cool. Ready. Spirit Talk. You head inside the darkened warehouse with Shannon. Her eyes have that far-off gaze associated with looking into the astral plane. When the world changed, the Native American tribes made a resurgence as well, demanding a place in the new world. They got it. The Salish Shite Council now represents 8.6 million Amerindians across a multitude of tribes. Salish, Makar, Sinsarak, and others. They've adapted to the awakening better than other nations, thanks to a deeper connection to the world, both physical and spiritual. You can see that connection alive in Shannon now. You notice the shift in her focus as she returns to the present. She nods to you. She can sense the spirits in this place. Now you just need to find them. Okay. Hey, combat. There's combat, right? Ah, yep. Now it is. So we got a Shadowrunner, an Adept, which is a monk. And let's get to it. Oof. Which one are you? You're the hacker man. Drone on. Drone future. Ooh. The boss man. Oof. Oh shit. All these tips. Wow. Okay, it's fine. Close that, I guess. Yep, we cool. I'm gonna take two, so might be able to kill that. Try it out. Oh, hell yeah. Damn. Maybe there's more. Okay. Oh no, we're good. Why not? Oh, no. What have we got? forever. He only gets one. Yeah. Oh, perhaps lots more. Okay. Alright. Last recorder. What you doing there? This wasn't open before. Alright. Ooh. Like a little one of those little things from The Witcher. The air grows cold and the spirits of dead children coalesce from the vapor of your breath. Their cherubic faces are burned, and their lips quiver as if they're about to cry. But their eyes are round and vacant, and they glare at you. They glare at you now, unblinking. God, was it godlike? I think so. Forgotten souls, we're the innocents who have perished in the flames, choking on smoke, and as we fell from the sky, crying for our mothers. You bring anchors to your world, which was once home to us, and we will use them to testify to the first magical fetish to the spirits. We no longer see the world of flesh, Seeker, made of the essence and auras of living things. Words, though, words may echo through the veil, and sometimes we may hear them. Last night this place was filled with a scream that went on, and drawing us to it. It was a man crying out for a witness as he died. And so we came to bear witness, but fled in terror before the malevolent spirit that profaned the man's remains. This spirit was other. It was not of this place. It had twisted its way through the veil and through the dark to come here. So the second magical fetish. When the other had gone and we returned to our vigil, we found two creatures of flesh. One you would call an elf, unsullied by technology and able to channel the energies of the cosmos. Yet his spirit was corrupted from within. He was dark and twisted, yet not like the other, though we did not flee. The second we knew to be a troll. Ribbons of his essence had been flayed from him, leaving cold machinery behind. His horror was the aura of one simple and confused. Between elf and troll lay the remains of a man whose sister now chanted to us for justice. I just got searched for... Alright. The elf, his essence remains in this place. Where the man died, something has been left behind, a small part of him perhaps. Can you tell us any more? Spirit begins to fade. Or spirits begin to fade. All but the one. Its eyes harden and it takes full measure of you, as if to commit everything about you to memory. No, we must not stay. With the spirits gone, the young shaman releases her hold on the magical tether connecting her to the other realm. She reels from the backlash, or perhaps from the emotional toll of knowing her brother's last moments. They saw him. They were with him when he died. Are you alright? And she takes a series of controlled breaths, only shuddering with the first few. No, but I will be. I don't want that for him. Not what those poor souls have endured. My brother deserves to be free. Um, he will be, once we find his killer. Yes, the elfin patrol. We have to find that piece of the elf the spirit spoke of. It's our best hope of stopping this. Alright, cool. Oh, don't go there. I wonder if it is the elf that we saw earlier at the crime scene. Maybe. Probably. Oh yeah. Oh, item picked up. Blood, this is what the spirits wanted us to find. The piece of my brother's killer. It's not much, but it's enough. She scowls at it, looking every bit like she intends to reach through the small sample and dismember its owner from afar. And perhaps she can. Um, is that enough to target a spell? All I need is a drop and adequate time. But I'm still feeling quite drained. I need to rest before I can try anything so involved. When I'm able, I'll commune with the bear, consult the spirits, and do what must be done. But in the meantime, you might take some portion of the sample to pursue a more conventional avenue of attack. Okay, I have some friends who might be able to help. Good, let me know if you learn anything about this elf and troll pair. And should you find them, I want to be there when they are brought low. I want to see the light leave their eyes for my brother. Oof. There's no one else I'd rather have by my side. And is that gonna... No, I need to voluntarily travel. I was gonna say I wonder if they're stealing all the body parts to put into themselves. I guess they could be giving them to patrol, but unless internal organs aren't really counted as cyberware or whatever. Yep. After hours, when you return to the Seamstresses Union in the early hours of the morning, it seems a completely different place. Bereft of the normal crowd that haunts it, the bar feels desolate, almost abandoned. It's eerie, like the back hallways of hotels and shopping malls. But you finally have a break in your case, a sample of the Ripper's blood. You just need to find someone to help you analyze it. Okay. We'll ask the doctor. Or Mrs. Caperto, whichever. Gathered around the intimate back bar, Mrs. Caperto and her coterie gather for breakfast with the lady herself doing the cooking. The smell of soy calf and something resembling sausages fills the room. Let's talk to Mr. Clouet first. Evening, sir, he says. What's the word around town, Mr. Clouet? There's been more talk of the Ripper killings. Some people are saying they're hate crimes on account of the victims all being human. Okay. Uh, what if I told you the prime suspects were an elf and a troll? Still doesn't mean the killings were racially motivated. People are just too quick to label something a hate crime. Check the census. The city's still 66% humans. Close your eyes and throw a rock. More than likely to hit a human. Doesn't make it a hate crime. Still a crime bomb, that should be enough. This is the first real rise we've seen out of Mr. Clue. But he reins himself in with a roll of his thick shoulders and a smoothing of his jacket. Don't worry, not going to start throwing rocks. Wouldn't want to reinforce the stereotype. I'll leave you to your business, sir. Okay. Now we'll talk to Kuberto. Ohio, would you like some? She stops. Forgive me, Omar, but you look like hell. I've been working, Mrs. Kuberto. She looks you over, noting the signs of your nocturnal activities. She nods. Any run you can walk away from is a good run. So I've been told. I can tell you've been busy and I can see by the look on your face that there's something you need. Is this about the river? Yep, I found some DNA evidence and need help analyzing it. Oh, 4 karma? Yeah. That is excellent. I will unlock the piano so you may go downstairs. I'm certain someone in the safe house will be able to help you, if they're awake. It's likely that you'll visit the Matrix before the day is done. Yeah. May I take a sausage? Take the whole plate. Yeah. I want some sausages. Actually, breakfast sausages. Yum. At the transition. Yep. The digital world. Oh, we're going to the Matrix. You've been doing a lot of legwork on this job, but it's going to require a trip to cyberspace and back to ID the Ripper. The Matrix, the cybernetic analog of inside the grid. The worldwide computer network, a digital world, information brought to life inside cyberspace. Your avatar does all the work while your meat body's left behind. All around your avatar are pathways to the other nodes, filled with data, IC, counter-intrusion programs, and other jacked-in runners. Cyberspace has as many dangers as the meat world and more. Locked doors, security countermeasures, and black ice. We can fry it. Okay, that's just ice, man. We can fry a deck spray. Every movement you make in the Matrix can be tracked. If you aren't careful, get dump shocked out, and your brain gets fuzzy for a bit. Get hit by an enemy decker, and you can die. Well, I don't know that. Oh boy. Oh god. Oh, you got an arm. Right, who's here? Oh, thank gracias. I was hoping to get some peace and quiet tonight. You got something for me? I got a flight recorder. Wouldn't have to be an Ares flight recorder, would it? Some very powerful buyers are looking for that right now. I can get rid of it for you. Say 20%. That leaves $2,000 for me. Hell yeah! Yo, pleasure doing business. Yes, it is. Can only afford some cybernetic stuff. Yeah, let's talk to David Fry for a second. Morning. You look like you've been up all night. And Johnny Clean as well. You look like you've seen some action too. Can either of you do a DNA analysis on a blood sample? Doc Castle's equipment isn't really set up for that. He considers for a minute. However, I could employ a semiconductor chip. It could decode DNA using a voltage change instead of light. That would eliminate the use of highly expensive equipment that would be required otherwise. Good at me. He brightens. I just read a journal about it, so the information's still fresh. Frankly, it should be easy. What do you want to know about it? The owner's identity. Ah, that's beyond me. All I can get you is the gene code sequence. That's where I come in, says Johnny. David, if you can get me that code sequence, I'm pretty sure we can track its owner down via a matrix run. Will do. Let me have the DNA you want to test. Give him a blood sample. Alright, when David gives me the sequence, I'll jack in and help you trace the blood sample back to its source. Thanks guys, if this works, we may find the Emerald City Ripper. No drag, he turns to Johnny excited. Wake up, Johnny boy. You got work to do, and Zola, if you need any gear, I'll be right here. Hell yeah. I just got a second wind, but you are my rig, Zola. I will talk to you first. Need some hardware or software? I'll have a look. I have no idea about any of this stuff yet. I don't know. Can I see my other... No, I can't even use my other characters here. Okay. Then no point doing that. Oh my god, I've got a lot of karma. Come on. Yeah, alright, spend it. Come on, Johnny. Thanks to the semiconductor-based gene sequencing system that David employed, we should have the information we need to track the Ripper in the Matrix. I'm really impressed with his results, considering it was his first attempt. He was utilizing an unproven technique he'd read about in a science journal. He was working from memory on minimal sleep. Okay. That's great, Professor. What's the plan? Oh, jeez. Alright, we hit the Lone Star DNA database first to see if our donor has a prior criminal record. They have extensive DNA archives, then we go hunting based on what we find. Let's hit the decks and jack into the Matrix. I can get into their private grid easily, but I've got to warn you. Once we're in, it could get a little rough. How much decking experience have you had? No experience at all. What now? I have a Trode net here. It's a headband you wear that lets you piggyback me in the Matrix. You'll see and hear everything I do. Okay. Okay. I've changed anything, so... Oh, what's he got there? Oh god, we just said alarm states. Alright, let's go. Oh jeez. Oh boy. Your synapses light up to connect your consciousness to the digital world where you are injecting like Johnny with sensations overwhelming and electrifying. You can only imagine the way it feels for him. Alright, cool. What? That archer take us to the next. No. The hell is this? Yeah, we'll work it out. Oh. Okay. The data store head is defended by intrusion countermeasures. Oh, that's a consumable. Oh, isn't it? Oh boy. Yeah. Get de-rezzed. I'm trying to hit. It's not very nice. Again. Oh god. Alright. Guys, it's down. Let's see if there's a match for this fingerprint. Still, why is that? Why am I still in turn order then? Oh, that does damage too? Oh, whoops. Okay, I didn't have to do that. Okay. Hacked DNA database. DNA match located, 100% match, arrest records database. Subject Silas Forsberg. Status deceased. Profession chop shop surgical assistant. Priors breaking and entering 2 counts. Public indecency 1 count. Brought in for questioning on accusations of unlicensed plastic surgery. No charges were filed. Okay. 100% match to a dead man. Let's keep looking. Can we get out of turn out of her? I'm not comfortable with. Got 2 more hits on the name Silas Forsberg. Does that make him double go up? I'm gonna stay in here. Or is it based on the combat? Oh shit. Oh boy. We're in trouble. Takes 3 AP, shit. Is that a consumable? Yeah, it is. It doesn't say that it's consumed. We'll save and try. We will save and try. So we can save scum. If need be. Let's be honest. Holy cool. Oh, dude, you're like a pharaoh. Yeah, let's buff you up. Yeah. Let's smack him round. Oh, he's ranged. Okay, it's not a pharaoh. I was wrong. Really? So he just buffs? They're useless. Oh right, that was consumable. Shit. Wait, oh, I can just do that too? Oh, okay. There you go. How long do you last for? Please tell me you're like a until killed kind of thing. That would be awesome. Newsnet 1, return on subject. Silas Forsberg, the body of Silas Forsberg, a chop shop surgical assistant, was found in an apartment in Snohomish. Okay. Earlier this week. The body had been there for as long as a month when Forsberg's landlord noticed a rancid smell and contacted authorities. Lone Star representatives have issued a statement saying Forsberg's death has been ruled as suicide. According to reports, his body was a massive puncture wound and the cause of death was determined to be an overdose of anti-stress medications and sedatives. The man's employer claims he was a dedicated employee, though he suffered from bouts of depression. Forsberg's next of kin could not be located, but the attorney pointed to his estate as located a will written weeks prior, leaving all of his belongings to his psychiatrist. Alright. The identity of the psychiatrist has not been released due to privacy concerns. Yet another sad end to a life, as is far too common here in the sprawl. That might be something we can go on. Let's regroup in meat space for a bit. No, 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 no. No, 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 we're not leaving here. We're going here. I don't want to waste that program. It's not even defended. It's cool. I mean, yay, thing's trying to kill me. Don't you try and Kamehameha me. So, Kamehameha you. Yeah. Hacker hacked autopsy records. Autopsy records. Subject Silas Forsberg. Note subject was found overdosed on half a dozen different sedatives. Several anti-anxiety medications were also found in his system. Well, half a dozen different ones there. Face was mutilated, possibly self-inflicted. Identity could not be confirmed immediately due to the disfigurement. Had to check dental records to confirm. No next of kin. Okay, so he's not dead. He murdered someone and mutilated the face. But how did he get away with that? Man, his blood. Unless something to do with him being the assistant coroner. Large puncture wounds were found in several places on the body, possibly large bore surgical needles. Ugh. Body had been decomposing for several weeks before the landlord noticed the smell and called the police when no one answered the door. Okay, cool. Now we can check out. Checking out will cause you to be stunned for 5 AP, confirm. No, don't emergency check out. Get back through the original door. 5 AP. Oops. Don't know what that does. Cool. Johnny Clean says. So here's what we know. Our DNA evidence belongs to a dead man whose death was never explained. He worked with chop shops, which fits with the living guy that you've met. The Newsnet said that he left his estate to a psychiatrist. Maybe finding out who his psychiatrist was will give us our next clue. My gut says we can deck into the medical board's records and reverse trace to find his doctor. You in? Yeah, punch it, man. Yes, he's got his program back. Cool. We can use this. Kinda. Kinda still want to be safer. You got 5 inch, 4 roll, 4 charisma, strength 4 quick. Dude's got the stats. Good at everything. 3 pistol, 2 dodge. 3 in throwing weapons? Alright, let's go. Oh. How the hell did you miss that? Okay. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh, what? Huh? Let's not do that again. Did she hit me? You joke. Alright, cool. We'll do Let me go summon this dude. I should have done that before. There we go. Check the ward. Hacked patient records. Searching medical records for Silas Forsberg. Medical records file for Silas Forsberg located. Okay, 2020 to 2030 then. Pediatric record partial. One particular pediatrician's entry stands out from the rest. Child suffers from a chronic depression and social anxiety most likely caused by his physical abnormalities. Is that meant to be because he's really ugly? Because it said that before when I met him, but... Oh, if it's the same guy. But, his, portrait didn't look that bad. We've seen many cases like this recently with the outbreak of changeling children being born. But elves aren't changed though. With the aberrant physiology we've seen, there is no telling what sort of brain functions are affected. Prescribed a series of sedatives last year but seemed to have no effect. Upping the dosage. Okay, I did wrong. 2030 to 2040. Data missing or corrupted, check your admin. Or contact your administrator for help. 2040 to present. The file is quite large and takes well over an hour to read through. The final entry, however, is the most significant. Of course it is. It's written by Dr. Henry Holmes. Silas has overcome significant mental disorders and no longer goes through periods of violent episodes. Latest medications have proven especially, I don't know how the hell I'll go out, effective, but I believe that being treated by another elf has significantly impacted his treatment. Unfortunately, my efforts to maintain an emotional boundary with him have proven challenging. He's bonded to me in an unhealthy and frankly an unnerving way. His hero worship exhibits itself in the form of mimicked speech patterns and adopting my dress. So that's why he wears a lab coat and a bow tie. For this reason and for the health of the patient, I am assigning another doctor to his case. I'll inform him at his next session. Right, leave medical database. Got a name now, Dr. Holmes. Let's keep going and find out where he works. Oh really? You can't reach her? He's slow, bro. Black eyes. Hey, see ya. It's the last room of here. Oh, at least it looks like I get this one back every run. Either that or the game's just helping me. Giving me freebies because I got nothing. Medical board 2. Act employee record. Employment record. Employment records located Henry Hollings Holmes, MD, PhD. Check previous. Check current employment status. Let's get to the bottom. In current employment status, Dr. Henry Holmes currently holds the position of Chief Psychiatrist and Administrator at Mercy Mental Hospital, Snohomish, Washington, UCAS. Check previous employers. Previous employers 2045 to 2054, psychiatrist in residence Mercy Mental Hospital in Snohomish, Washington, UCAS. 2040 to 2045, attending psychiatrist Mercy Mental Hospital in Snohomish, Washington, UCAS. 2030 to 2040, private practice. Okay, so he was private of the... Yeah. I know it was a different doctor, I think. Okay. Leave employee into records. Bingo, back to meat space again. Ah, yay. Never gonna get a turn order ever. Good fun. Reality is at the end of the day contextual, and as the meat world comes back into the focus, your head once again tries to settle on which world is the real one. Or the philosophical question lingers in your meat body. Oh, your meat body demands food and drink. You disconnect from your deck to find that the Union's safe house has risen. Alright, awesome. People are awake. Wonder if this got new stuff for me. Oh my god, there's like new text everywhere. Despite the Armor Buster is fastidiously put together in another wrinkle-free suit. He showed every indication he's been up for hours, sank to his elbow in a dozen crates, each containing objects of sinister matte black hidden beneath curls of straw, or straw-coloured packing foam. The foam flies about as he inventories the shipment, clinging to every surface except for Buster's immaculate suit. Does he have new weapons? How long you been in the trade, Buster? Well, let's see. Here. I left Calvary on July 8th, 2038 at 6:13 in the morning. It was a Thursday. From there, I wandered a bit. Applied my skills as a merc in half a dozen different wars, official or otherwise. Never did take to running the shadows like some of the boys I knew. Too subtle for my taste, I suppose. Surely there's no shortage of full-scale engagements to be had. And so I didn't want for work. I'd still be doing it today if I hadn't lost the armor. Alright, how'd you lose it? It was also stupid. Some Aussies were lobbing smokers behind our lines. More to mess with us than anything. I decided to toss one back and didn't it just figure that the one I grabbed ain't a smoker. I got it off, but only just barely. Shredded my old arm, but good. Got plenty of other scars to remember the moment by as well. But the arm was a big one. To take a word of advice from an old soldier. Make sure you're never holding a grenade in one hand unless you just pulled the pin with the other. Yeah, okay. Now, if I hadn't given you reason to doubt my professional competence, how about we talk turkey? What can I get you? Let's see what you got. Come on, new guns. Or new swords, preferably. Yeah. Oh, it's got a katana. What? Oh, it does AP damage on a crit, but the axe does more damage. Oh, but it's a katana. But the axe. But it's a katana. Katana's just like my machete. But it's a katana. Basically a sharp gets better no may do AP damage really pretty quick. So is that identical to the machete man? Has he got higher crit maybe? What is the crit rate in this game and how is it determined? I do not know. Maybe I can look this up. Never mind, bro. I'll look at stats first. PC calculator. Oh, intelligence. He's like gives you dodge when you jacked into a matrix. Oh, that's kind of rude. Put our body. Let's talk to that guy. Sell our machete and get a katana. Why not? Let's have a baseball bat too. How did this disarm stuff? Maybe I'll just have a baseball bat. I'm gonna buy the katana. Don't know how disarm works. Don't know if disarm only disarms for current weapon, or if it prevents you from using any. I think that's disarm we missed. That way, kind of got two identical weapons. When I do get disarmed. Alright, cool. He says nothing. Alright, never mind. See you around, bro. Thanks for the thingy. Talk to Mersman. You look so different in your thumb now. Needs a new armor. I'll have a look at what you got, bro. Oh, yeah. Hello. Wait, First Nation armor? There's more. It's not just... There's heaps more. Charisma +1, int +1. Ninja armor, dodge +1. Stealth suit. Dodge and movement +1 with armor 4. That's awesome. What's the highest armor now though? 6. Yeah, I've got 4 on. And you get 3 HP though, which isn't really much. I think the stealth suit's better than that. The kunai ninja suit? Oh, it gives +1 throwing weapons. And 1 movement. Urban Mystic. Willpower and spellcasting. Slick Decker. Int and decking. Sailish Pendant. Charisma and Spirit Summoning +1. It's the only one that actually lists them both. Before they give a +1, the others both. Again, it's weird. Mil Spec Flight Suit. Int +1 Drone +1. Matrix Courier. Int and ESP Control +1. Golden Boy. Int and Drone Combat. First Nation Armor, Christmas Spirit Control. Ali Mage, Willpower and 5 HP. Refurb UCAS Shock Gear. Here we go. Strength +1, HP +5. That's kinda cool. And a Ganger Mask. Quickness +1, HP +5. Alright, which one have I got? 6 grand. I like having extra movement though. But being a tanky boy is also good. I know it's fair. There's a cockroach in my face. Whenever it's fair. I want to see the cybernetics first. Just one glance at all you need to tell that the good doctor is exhausted. Her crumpled scrubs are stained with a mix of blood and other fluids too colourful to be naturally occurring in the human body. The rise of those of a person who's built up a substantial sleep debt and has no idea when or how to begin paying it off. I'm not one to talk, but you look like Drac. Afraid there isn't much I can do for that. Dr. Castle snaps her fingers and calls forth the spirit normally seen perched on his shoulder. It appears from out of the ether, and the doctor immediately seems less fatigued than she was a moment before. Now, what can I do for you? Everything alright here, Doc? You here at the union? Yes, fine. I'm just getting back myself. Days here tend to be slow, so I volunteered at a medical center on the other side of Touristville, and I had a rough shift. Care to talk about it? Haven't you heard? Doctors don't like to talk about their problems. It makes us appear less godlike. But I'll humor you. I didn't hear all the details. All I really know is what came in on the lips of the victims, healthy enough to still speak. Apparently one of the Baron's gangs incurred the wrath of the local sulfur rings. They're like Korean gangs. Leading to a rolling shootout through the city streets. Several bystanders were injured. The real mess didn't begin until the party crashed into the yard of an old industrial plant out on Union Hill Road. It awoke some sort of toxic spirit which then began running amok, causing easily as much damage as the initial battle. And we were left to pick up the pieces, of course, but enough about my troubles, let's hear about yours. Tell me what ails you. I'd like to look at your cyberware. I love settings like this that have, I guess, like modern fantasy, but worlds like shared with like monsters and spirits and stuff. You can just go somewhere and all of a sudden you've woken up some spirit and it's angry. It's like, whoa! I like Final Fantasy and stuff as well. I love that they've normally got like some kind of tech, but then all the monsters and magic's there as well. Like Final Fantasy 15, you drive around, you see that giant moose. The car, like, okay, alright. Humans are super dominant and have all this tech and stuff and can use magic, but we've still got the big creatures around. Obviously not that dominant, we have to share. Data jacked, silver tech arm. Aries demo plating. Bone lacing. Ah, here we go. God, very expensive. Oh, if anyone knew, is reflexes. Wired reflexes with reflex trigger. Movement +1. When triggered, you'll dodge the first attack against you last 3 rounds. +1 quickness. Is that the? It's for speed, Shadowrun. Not speed for reflex. Never mind. Yep. Terrible making decisions like this. Let's go get the armor first, I think, because I won't subtract from anything. I want this armor. And I will sell. Might as well sell that. Cool, we'll be able to sell that too. Sell that. Don't want that though. I've got 4 with 3 HP now. can get built with +1 movement, +1 dodge. No, let's go heavy. +1 strength, +5 HP. Let's go. Alright, equip that one. Okay, made the right choice. Confirm. Cool. Get back to this guy. Sell the old armor. Oh, I made a mistake. That's why I wasn't a bug. I bought 2 of them. Oh, cool. Got them both. The tourist look. Cool. Yeah, let's see what Magic Guy's got to say or sell. Alienon looks the same as always, so much so that one may wonder if he ever takes time to eat or sleep. Perhaps his presence on this plane of existence is insubstantial enough that he isn't subject to such base needs. Or perhaps he just does these things when no one's looking. Dark clouds surround you, my friend, but perhaps there is something I could provide you with that would help with... Well, I could provide... that would help with whatever weighs so heavily upon you. But still, but what a magic, Algernon. Algernon, how do you say your name? The spirits are stirring. Something has upset the natural order. There is something new. Different. Seems there's someone new every day. What is it this time? Would that I knew. The spirits speak in riddles. They leave me with more questions than answers. Right. But there is something else out there. Something not born of life, as other spirits are. Shaking his head, Algernon opens his clasped hand to you, as if begging forgiveness. Too often this world leaves us confounded. I pray I've not left you in such a state with my idle musings. Please, can I be of service to you today? Alright, let's see what you got. Oh, man. I want to play a mage too. Look at all these spells. Okay, we're not. Wait, what? Oh, rank 2. Cool. Oh, thanks, bro. Talk to David for half a second. David looks almost as tired as you do. You can tell that this case has gotten under his skin like it has yours. Any luck in there? We found an exact match of a DNA, but it was linked to a dead shop assistant by the name of Silas Forsberg. Now, I have my theories, but what do you think's going on here, Zola? Maybe Silas faked his death. That's what I thought. It's a distinct possibility. What was it that we saw in the autopsy report? He was killed by sedatives, but the coroner still thought he had ripped his own face off. The coroner really phoned it in on that one. Happens way too often when there's no next of kin willing to foot the bill for a thorough autopsy. I definitely didn't think that report told the whole story. It matched the identity by the dental records, right? Not the most reliable, it matches up with something I've seen runners try. It's easy enough to find a body shop that'll make a replica set of teeth for you. Oof. You can find some schlub off the street no one will miss. Pop the teeth and throw the heat off your trail for a while. Lucky I've never been that desperate. But why would he need to go to those lengths? Did the police records have something linking him to a different crime? He had a prior for unlicensed plastic surgery. True, wouldn't look too good on someone's record if I wanted to become a doctor. I think this is beginning to come together. The late Silas left all his belongings to a doctor. Yeah. And Dr. Holmes. Employment records have him as the administrator of Mercy Mental, and the picture on his file matches the person he saw downtown. The same person his DNA belongs to. All the evidence points to him being your killer, whoever he really is. I should go find this Dr. Holmes and ask him some very pointed questions. With my katana. Hey, 4K. Please pay my respects. I always find that high caliber rounds get my message across. You should clearly hire some friends to go, oh, what? Come on, man, don't skip a dialogue. Must have bumped a button. Do I have to hire people every time I go out? Need some hardware or software? I'll take a look. Oh, no wonder that was so easy. Oh. Here's the best started. Cyberdeck. Oh, nope, not the best. That one's better, it requires higher things. Gucci created a virtual X for employees. Now Deckers love to use it against them. Alright, cool. Thanks. Back to the doctor. I'll look at just cyberware. I think I will take the dermal. Yeah, I'll take the dermal plating. That's way too expensive to bother with. Oof. I don't know if I should bother with it because basic. What if we get better ones? Yeah, I'm not having trouble yet. I'll leave that. Never mind. No, I'm doing it. Doing good. I've made up my mind finally. That's too awesome. Confirm. Subway causes essence loss. This affects the magic rating of your character. Oh, and magic is equal to essence rounded down. Magic is very important for spellcasters. The base number of spell slots available to casters is equal to half of their magic rounded down. Therefore, losing essence can cause spell slots to be permanently lost. In addition, each point of magic lost increases all spell cooldowns by +1. Casting a spell again while it's cooling down causes drain damage to the caster. You can't have less than 1 essence. Magic's equal to half your essence. Whatever, I use magic. Oh, never mind, thank you. Let's look at my next new sabo. Yeah. Cool. Oh shit, alright. I must go now. But yeah, we'll get back to me soon. See ya. Oh. Alright, see ya.